Exclusive contracted novel by Feilu Novel Network. Understanding the heavenly adventure, taking a concubine to harvest the little treasure of Uncle Nine. Reborn into the zombie world, picked up by Uncle Nine and taken as a disciple, awakened the golden finger. Starting with a hundredfold increase in comprehension. Getting married can increase one's intelligence, and one can also obtain the inheritance of cultivation systems from other worlds, as well as treasures from all heavens and worlds. Before I could regain my senses, I joined another chat partner, Junyang. This four-eyed road chief, follow my nephew and have some meat to eat. Whatever my nephew says, that's it. Ren Tingting, my dad said, it's good to have a child with the surname Ren in the future. Miss Lu from the Lu family, brother Lin Chen, I have brought my grandfather's Tongtian book Uncle Jiu, don't marry, don't marry. My coffin is already gone. Maoshan Sect Gate, marry. Let him marry. From now on, Lin Chen will be the leader of Maoshan, and all the disciples of Maoshan will go down the mountain to earn money and make dowries for the leader. He shares the same father and son relationship with Uncle Jiu, and there are not many calculations between people, so the overall flow is relaxed. Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 1. The Golden Fingers Gather Together. You are listening at novelfold.audio. Ding! Congratulations to the host who is over 18 years old and the system is officially launched. Ding! Test the host's existing cultivation, test the host's selected system. The detection host is the Taoist cultivation system, and a special reward is given to beginners with a large gift package called Daozang, which has been completed, including the complete Dunhuang Daozang, Orthodox Daozang, etc., and many lost and isolated private collections have also been collected. This system is a matchmaking system. Every time the host receives a high-quality woman who sincerely accompanies them, they will receive a significant improvement in their intelligence and can also obtain an inheritance system from other worlds every time. The system activates a large gift package for distribution, including the inheritance of Dragon and Snake Chinese martial arts system, a hundredfold increase in intelligence, a significant increase in affinity and temperament, and a chaos body, which can be improved, for later generations, exclusive to a small world. Reward distribution, please be prepared by the host. Prepare a yarn. He was sleeping soundly when suddenly he was awakened by a drip sound. Before he could react on what had happened, a series of messages came crashing over him. Before he could fully awaken, he felt a severe pain sweeping through his body, and at the same time, a huge stream of information flowed into his mind. The feeling was like a blade stirring in his mind, and the intense pain made him scream out loud. Senior brother! Senior brother, are you okay? Master, come on, senior brother, he's in trouble. Wen Kai, who was awakened in the next room, hurriedly ran over and saw Lin Chen fall off the bed in pain, shouting and screaming. He was immediately frightened. Master, there's something wrong with senior brother. Come on, come on. What's going on? What's going on? Uncle Jiu was already awakened by Lin Chen's screams, and heard Wen Kai's screams again. He was so anxious that he couldn't even put on his shoes in time, so he hurriedly ran over. Xiaochen. What's wrong with you, Xiaochen? Don't scare me, teacher. As soon as I entered the door, I saw Lin Chen screaming and rolling on the ground, which immediately made Uncle Jiu feel heartbroken. With a brisk step, I rushed forward and hugged Lin Chen's upper body tightly, anxiously asking, Wen Kai, what's going on? Master, I don't know either. I was sleeping soundly just now when I suddenly heard my senior brother scream. When I came over, I saw his senior brother scream and fall off the bed. Could it be that he fell off the bed? When Kai was at a loss, he was still fine before going to bed. How could this suddenly happen? Fart, would you fall off the bed like this? Uncle Jiu was furious. Hurry up and find a doctor to show your senior brother. Yes, I'll go right now. Upon hearing Yan Wen, he turned around and ran away. His senior brother usually treats him well, but now that his senior brother has an accident, he certainly dare not neglect it. Xiaochen, please hold on a bit, Wen Kai has gone to see the doctor. Uncle Jiu looked at the eldest disciple in his arms and tears of heartache were about to come down. Although he has already taken in 3 apprentices, what truly matters to him the most is actually this great disciple Lin Chen. It's not that Wen Kai and Qiu Sheng are not good at each other, but Lin Chen said he's an apprentice, and in fact, there's no difference between him and his son. Lin Chen was picked up by him when he first came out of Maoshan for a trip. When he first picked up Lin Chen, he was just a newborn baby, defecating and urinating, and named him Lin Chen after his surname. For many years, although they have been referred to as masters and apprentices, both of them are very clear that their relationship is much closer than that of ordinary fathers and sons. Now that I see Lin Chen like this, how could Uncle Jiu not feel heartbroken? Master. There's no need to hire a doctor, I'm already much better. Lin Chen's head was covered in cold sweat, and his trembling hands tightly grasped Uncle Jiu's sleeve. After a while, the pain on my body has been alleviated and there is a lot of information in my mind. Apart from feeling a little bloated in my brain, it's much better now. Are you okay, Xiaochen? What happened to you just now? Uncle Jiu was extremely anxious. Maybe he went crazy while practicing martial arts, right? No, it's okay, Ding, mysterious fluctuations detected, capturing. Ding, Wanjia San Sculpture Chat Group invites you to join. Do you agree to the invitation? This. Lin Chen paused, what else? Does God want to compensate for his 18-year expectation of money? Gold fingers are piling up directly. As a traveler, Lin Chen is not unfamiliar with the existence of the system. He has also been involved in the Feilu circle before and is very familiar with this type of protagonist's constant golden finger. In the first few years of his journey, Lin Chen had been eagerly anticipating and even foolishly trying various strange methods to see if he could awaken his golden finger. For this, he also suffered a severe beating from Uncle Jiu. However, after trying various methods without any response, Lin Chen gradually gave up. Now, suddenly, he appeared in a pile, and for a while, Lin Chen was a bit uncomfortable. Master, don't worry, I'm fine. It's not a bad thing. On the contrary, my disciple, I may have gained a great opportunity this time. After a period of relief, the pain on his body had gradually subsided, and Lin Chen had also calmed down. He was supported by Uncle Jiu and leaned against the bedside. What great opportunity! You almost scared me to death. Uncle Jiu was not angry, when Kai has already gone to invite the doctor. Let the doctor give you a thorough examination later. Uncle Jiu himself actually knows medical skills, but after all, he is not so proficient. Practicing Maoshan technique has already consumed most of his energy. Medical skills only involve superficial knowledge, treating minor illnesses such as colds and colds. Master, I'm really fine, I'm just feeling a bit weak. This time it's really not a bad thing. Lin Chen felt helpless, and he never thought of hiding it from Uncle Nine. Apart from being a traveler, he doesn't feel the need to hide anything from his master. Moreover, Uncle Jiu brought him from childhood to adulthood. Over the years, he has truly understood him so well that any changes in his body cannot be concealed from him. It's better to be honest from the beginning than to let Uncle Jiu guess blindly. Also, it's convenient for Lin Chen to give him some help. Master, I have now entered the foundation construction period and can be considered a Taoist at the level of a local teacher. Lin Chen smiled on his face, although he still felt a little uncomfortable physically, his heart was unprecedentedly happy. I started practicing at the age of 5, and now I am 18 years old. After 13 years, I have finally entered the period of building a foundation. In the cultivation world, I can also be considered a little master. What? Uncle Jiu widened his eyes in disbelief. He is very clear about his own senior disciple, and his qualifications are still very good. Compared to other disciples of the same generation, he doesn't know how much better he is. However, unfortunately, the cultivation world is gradually declining. At the age of 18, having a cultivation level of 7 layers of qi has already shocked many people. How dare he believe that he has now directly entered the period of foundation construction and become a master in cultivating the realm of a geographer. Chapter 2. Fu Jian Old Thief's Despair, Me and Black Cat. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Everything in the universe is true to me. The 3 pure ancestors respond with sincerity. Recite it 10,000 times, and light will shine upon you. With one breath of evolution, you will be lost in the darkness. Uncle Jiu nodded repeatedly as he listened to Lin Chen's recitation. It is indeed a classic of my Taoist school that cannot be wrong, and although my cultivation has suddenly increased, my foundation is unexpectedly solid. I have never seen such a solid foundation before as a teacher. So it seems that it's not a ghost or demon, it's just. Uncle Jiu scratched his head and couldn't understand why this situation happened. Is it really the favor of heaven? Just why is your divine ability so not serious? Uncle Jiu looked strange. The supernatural ability to communicate with people from other worlds will not be mentioned for now. Although it is magical, Taoism also has a saying about the vast world, which is not difficult to understand. Compared to the other supernatural power, it's a bit unorthodox. Every additional woman can gain a systematic inheritance of a world and enhance one's understanding. Uncle Jiu's mood is complicated, and he doesn't know if the money he has accumulated over the years is enough. This dowry money will definitely not be saved, as we will have children in the future. Thinking about how Uncle Jiu's mouth suddenly curled up, it seemed pretty good. Is it always a good thing, isn't it? Lin Chen was already much better by this time. Not only was the pain fully effective, but there seemed to be an endless force on his body. Someone in the group has been calling me for a while, let me take a look first. Okay, Wen Kai should be back soon. I'll explain to the doctor. You rest early. If you have anything else, we'll talk tomorrow morning. Uncle Jiu nodded, thinking for a moment but feeling a bit uneasy. Be careful when communicating with people from other worlds. Uncle Jiu has read about the existence of extraterrestrial demons in books, and does God know whether people from other worlds are good or bad? Communication is possible, but necessary precautions are essential. Master, don't worry, don't you know me yet? That's it. I feel at ease with this senior apprentice, Uncle Jiu. He has been mature since teaching, and although he sometimes gets a little funny and likes to act around, he never worries about anything serious. You can do it yourself. I'll have Wen Kai go to the town tomorrow morning to buy some paper and pens, and you can copy down the Taoist classics in my mind. Ah. Lin Chen looked dumbfounded. All. Of course. Uncle Jiu nodded and turned around before leaving. He had already heard the sound of Wen Kai returning. Lin Chen suddenly felt a little sore in his hands, and he knew it was appropriate, but looking at the massive amount of information in his mind, he thought he had to copy it all by himself bit by bit, and Lin Chen's scalp was tingling. No, we need to find a way. If we copy so much content bit by bit, when will we have to write it down? Lin Chen's eyes rolled. It seems that we still need to rely on Xiuxing Wen Kai and them. If it's a big deal, I'll dictate it and let them write it, so it can be easier. And copying it once can give them some experience. I believe the master is also willing to let them learn more things, even if there is a little gain, it is enough for the two of them to benefit. Jichuan Shizuka, at the Maoshan Taoist who opened the game, why aren't the newcomers talking? Worried if it's an illusion. These are all true, Tony Stark. Perhaps the newcomer is a bit shy, but Taoist Maoshan, I checked and it seems that they are a kind of clergy from the ancient Eastern Kingdom. I don't know if they have true abilities. Su Fengnian, it's also possible that newcomers, like me, haven't seen chat groups before and don't know how to use them. Dongfang Bai, right. At first, when I first joined the group, I thought I had a hallucination while practicing martial arts, but it took me a long time to believe it. Wugen Glass, humph, foolish mortal. Group leader Zhou Xiaobai, if I remember correctly, it seems like you, Black Cat, were scared and started talking nonsense, right? Wugen Glass, oh, I don't have it. Dongfang Bai, does the group leader know about the newcomer? What is the newcomer's identity? Zhou Xiaobai, I don't know, it's just a nickname with too little information. Zhou Xiaobai, there are also many famous Maoshan Taoist princes, but I never thought of anyone who could match up with the Maoshan Taoist priest who was driving. As soon as Lin Chen came in, he found that everyone inside was talking about him, and they were all acquaintances he had known before, except for the group leader. However, Lin Chen was quite surprised that he was not the group leader. And judging from the meaning of the group leader, it seems like after a moment of contemplation and careful consideration, Lin Chen first changed his nickname because everyone had real names, so there was no need for him to make any special moves. Then, he tentatively posted a sentence in the group, Lin Chen, at group leader Zhou Xiaobai, the heavenly king covers the earth tiger. Zhou Xiaobai, what? Zhou Xiaobai, Sasuke 1.5 meters. Lin Chen was stunned for a moment. He thought that the other party would say that the pagoda was the town of river demons. Unexpectedly, it was still an anime, and he knew a lot. Immediately looked at the list of chat group members, Lin Chen, Fu Jian, the old thief has lost his conscience. Zhou Xiaobai, I will live and die with the black cat. Super loud JPG Wugen Glass, you. Lin Chen, there are hidden tigers and wolves in Yanji County. Zhou Xiaobai, the second Su Fu wall in the world. Su Fengnian, first of all, I didn't provoke any of you. Lin Chen, brother. Zhou Xiaobai, it's a sisters. Lin Chen, this is not important. It's been so many years, finally seeing my hometown people again. It's really exciting. Zhou Xiaobai, are you also a traveler? What world have you traveled to? Why have you become a Maoshan Taoist? I understand why you call yourself the Kaiheng Maoshan Taoist. Lin Chen, don't mention it, it's been 18 years since I've traveled to the zombie world, and it's not considered time to travel. It should be reincarnation. It's been 18 years, and I just awakened my golden finger. Is it easy for me? Zhou Xiaobai, Zombie World. Uncle 9. Lin Chen, that's right, and I was abandoned by my parents shortly after birth. Fortunately, I was picked up by Uncle 9 and survived. By the way, I am Uncle 9's eldest disciple. Zhou Xiaobai, wow, the disciple of the Master of the Realms, he's still a trailblazer. He must be a big shot in the future. Dongfang Bai, do the group leaders and new acquaintances know each other? Zhou Xiaobai, I guess we know each other. We are all travelers, so it's not necessarily the same place. But if nothing unexpected happens, we should be fellow villagers, right? Envy. Although the zombie world is also very dangerous, with Uncle Jiu taking care of it, as long as you don't seek death, there is no danger to your life, unlike me. I have traveled directly to the end of the world, and I can't even get some benefits by pretending to be a god. Lin Chen almost burst out laughing. The group leaders were really unlucky enough to travel into the end world, which can be said to be the beginning of hell. Not even pretending to be a godly stick to deceive benefits. After all, how can a godly stick find people every day to eat and drink these survival supplies? I can't even pretend to go on. Okay, but speaking of it, this group leader is pretty good, he seems to be quite easy to talk about. Chapter 3. Your system is not serious. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Lin Chen, actually, it's not easy for me either. In the era of the end of the Dharma, it was difficult to cultivate. I only practiced Qi 7 layers for more than a decade before, which was achieved with my good qualifications. Zhou Xiaobai, that's better than me, at least following Uncle Jiu doesn't have to worry about life safety. Lin Chen, that's right, and now it's better. My golden finger has also awakened, but just as soon as I awakened, I gave a lot of things. My cultivation has directly reached the foundation building period, and I can be considered a little master in the cultivation world. Zhou Xiaobai, still giving gifts. Can you still improve your cultivation? You're not talking about a chat group, are you? Do you have any other golden fingers? Lin Chen, not really, actually I was quite surprised. I already have the system, Golden Finger, and can even join a chat group. Is it the compensation that Golden Finger gave me for being 18 years late? Zhou Xiaobai, trough, why? Envy made me look completely unrecognizable. Tony Stark, it seems that the newcomer is a lucky guy, even the group leaders envy him. Wugen Glass, I have a golden finger and even joined a chat group. The newcomers are really lucky. I envy, and hate JPG Su Fengnian. What I'm curious about is, what is the realm of the foundation construction period? What is a geographer like? Is he very strong? How does he compare to the experts like me? Tony Stark, I'm curious, there's everything online that says, it seems very strong and also very weak. I'm a crooked nut, I don't understand. Lin Chen, how to put it, it should be a problem of the world. I am better at dealing with ghosts and monsters on my end. It's unclear how I compare to martial arts experts during the foundation building period, but I definitely can't compare to experts like Wang Xianji and Deng Taya right now. Of course, if you're playing Yin, even a few Wang Xianji wouldn't be enough for me to kill. Zhou Xiaobai, I agree with this point. Although Maoshan Taoist may not have the ability to fight head-on, when it comes to playing Yin, giving a curse or creating a feng shui formation behind the scenes is really hard to defend against. And it's also quite impressive in the later stage. In simple terms, it has higher development potential, but its frontal combat effectiveness is not good in the early stage. Lin Chen, that's right, I heard from my master that I have truly reached the realm of the heavenly master, and it's not a problem to move mountains, fill the sea, and cross the void in the air. Although there are exaggerated elements, you can imagine how powerful it is. However, there are fewer heavenly masters in the era of the end of the Dharma. There are only 3 or 4 of us on the surface of Maoshan, all of whom were reached 200 or 300 years ago. There have been no heavenly masters born in the past 100 years. Dongfang Bai, 200 or 300 years ago, people were still alive. Zhou Xiaobai, I forgot to mention it. Leaving aside the rest of their system, the most famous one is being able to live. As long as their cultivation is high enough, immortality is not a dream. Lin Chen, immortality is a bit exaggerated. Unless one's cultivation can continue to improve, the heavenly master can only live for about 500 years. If one cannot continue to improve, 500 years is the limit. Tony Stark, I can only live for about 500 years, focus on the key points and take the exam. Wugen Glass, do you want to hear what you're saying? 500 years. That's a whole 500 years. Zhou Xiaobai, can't stand this anymore. If I remember correctly, it seems that the Maoshan sect to which Lin Chen belongs has a special background, and even if he dies, he can still serve as an official in the underworld. Dongfang Bai, I understand, increasing cultivation can increase lifespan. It's not a problem to spend hundreds of years. Even if you die, you can still enjoy it in the underworld, right? Jealousy is completely beyond my recognition. Tony Stark, okay, how about playing like this? It's amazing to have a background, isn't it? Lin Chen, sorry, having a background is amazing. I forgot to introduce my master. Although his family is still in the mortal world, he has already been hired by the underworld as the head clerk of the underworld bank, responsible for printing silver bills for the bank every year. You see, I'm not impressed. Tony Stark, how can a nest still be like this? I don't think I have my own JPG Wugen glass. Are you already a wealthy second generation before you die? Don't look. Wash you, stinky rogue JPG Dongfang Bai, is this the benefit of having a background? Love it. Don't look. Cut off the JPG for you Su Fengnian. I suddenly feel that my identity as the Crown Prince of Bailiang is a bit embarrassing. Without looking, I also have a JPG, Juchuan Shizuka. I'm a teacher, let me take a look. Let me take a look at JPG Zhou Xiaobai, I envy you even more when you say that. It's too small to see, magnifier JPG Lin Chen, you have gone too far, group leader, the leader of this group of dogs is actually slandering the Taoist. Believe it or not, take it out and scare you to death. Zhou Xiaobai, hee, but when it comes to you, you've already become a master. What kind of golden finger are you? This upgrade is too fast, isn't it? It's so much since it was activated. Dongfang Bai, same curiosity. Lin Chen, there's actually nothing that can't be said, it's just a system, its functions. Zhou Xiaobai, Nest, are you serious? Tony Stark, can it still be like this? Obtaining a woman can lead to the inheritance of a world system, which is so enviable, right? If it were given to me, wouldn't it be sent? Dongfang Bai, your system is not serious, Jichuan Shizuka, I can do it, but you are responsible for protecting my safety in buying me a bag, a branded brand. Wugen glass, Hantai. Surprisingly, there is such an shameless feature. Su Fengnian, how about discussing how to give it to me? I'll give you the crown prince's seat. Lin Chen, don't misunderstand, there are actually limitations. Only when a woman truly falls in love with me and is willing to sincerely entrust me to grow old together can she receive rewards. Lin Chen, also, at Juchuan Shizuka, we can have a private chat. Zhou Xiaobai, Jingxiang Yu. I can't believe it, JPG Juchuan Shizuka, well, according to the group leader's words, the end of the world is coming up here. If Lin Chen is handsome, what can't he do? Juchuan Shizuka is rightfully confident. Although she is not very smart, she is not foolish. It's already the end of the world, she still knows what's most important. And according to the group leader, my world seems to be a harem fan, and it's not as cheap as other people's, as cheap as Lin Daochang. Lin Chen, cough, let's talk about this privately, but rest assured that the system requires the other party to voluntarily receive rewards, so you. Dongfang Bai, isn't this supposed to be? Do you still want to use strength? I advise you to think carefully before speaking. Lin Chen, no, how could it be? If I dared to do that, my master wouldn't spare me, and I'm not that kind of person either. I swear, JPG Zhou Xiaobai, although I have some doubts about you, Uncle Jiu's personality is still guaranteed. Lin Chen, don't worry, I treat the existence of the system as a divine power and tell the master that he is an old man. He won't do such worthless things. Zhou Xiaobai, You actually told Uncle Nine with your golden finger. Surprised Lin Chen, what can't be said about this? When I was abandoned, I was just a full moon baby. My master kept pooping and urinating, and he took me to drink milk from hundreds of households to raise me. He said he was a master disciple, but in fact, he was just a father and son. Except for my identity as a traveler, I don't think there's anything else to hide. In this way, what good things I get in the future can also be given to my master and his family. And I even told you all, there's no reason to hide it from my master. Dongfang Bai, there's nothing wrong with this. It's appropriate to show filial piety to the teacher, let alone in this situation. Tony Stark, this is indeed a good thing to do, and even if there are benefits, I cannot forget my master. Although I am a crooked fruit kernel, I do not quite understand the Xia-style master-disciple relationship. Wugen glass, what? So he's a good person, breathed a sigh of relief Zhou Xiaobai, I admire it, but Uncle Jiu's character is indeed worth believing. Can Chapter 4 be helpful to me, this crooked nut? You are listening at novelfold.audio. Of course, there is no need to say much about Uncle Jiu's character. The most important thing is that Uncle Jiu protects his weaknesses. Just Zhou Shengwen, who has been causing trouble and acting recklessly for the past 2 days, would have been expelled from the sect long ago if he hadn't killed them and cleaned up the door. Only Uncle Jiu always protects them, wiping their buttocks all day long. If it weren't for Uncle Jiu often cleaning up their mess, they would have been beaten to death by others or tricked to death by themselves, just like their moral character. Plus the relationship between love and father, Lin Chen has no need to hide it at all. Zhou Xiaobai, you just said that activating the system received a reward, are there any good things? Li. Show me JPG quickly. Tony Stark, we are also very curious. Lin Chen, I just took a quick glance and it came over, I only know it hurts. I hugged and sent a few JPGs with heartache. Let me take a closer look. Well, with a 100-fold increase in intelligence and a chaotic physique, it can accommodate various systems across all rivers. It hurts so much just now, so I guess it's just a physical modification, right? It almost killed me. This intellectually disabled system, don't you know if I should be reminded to prepare first? Inheriting traditional Chinese culture. This thing is good for solidifying the foundation and honing one's mental state. Moreover, the ability to break through the void and see the gods without damage, and avoid danger without seeing or hearing it, is also very magical. There is also a complete collection to supplement. So, this beginner's gift pack is quite practical. While checking, Lin Chen sent the information to the group. Since the group leaders were all so honest, there was no need for him to hide it. If he were to become a godly group leader, that would be another story. And Lin Chen also wondered if he could exchange resources with everyone in the chat group, show off what he has, and facilitate the exchange. The most important thing is to let some people in the group see their potential, so that it will be much easier to take action in the future. Zhou Xiaobai, wow, it's not fair. As both travelers, why are you so much stronger than me? Although your abilities are not many, they are all good things to enhance your potential. Tony Stark, very impressive. Wei Goran doesn't quite understand, please explain. Although Tony Stark can also search for some information online, most of them are vague and do not understand the value of these things. Dongfang Bai, I'm curious, but how does the inheritance of different systems compare to the martial arts of my world? Wugan Glass, envy, as a person in the daily world, really only envy. Jichuan Shizuka, I don't understand, but envy is right. Su Fengnian, can you explain quickly, group leader? Is the inheritance of traditional Chinese arts powerful? Lin Chen, let me talk about it. There's nothing to say about improving one's intelligence, everyone understands. The function of the chaos body is also very simple, it allows me to cultivate multiple systems at the same time, without getting demonic and damaging myself due to system conflicts. Lin Chen, the Taoist scriptures are a complete collection of Taoist classics. It can be said that for the system I am currently practicing, it is the supreme treasure. As long as I have a slight understanding, there will be no good bottlenecks on a smooth road in the future. There is also a small world about 100 acres in size that can be used for cultivation. Ordinary crops mature in 10 days, and natural resources and treasures grow at a rate of 100 times faster. Energy can also be used to accelerate the growth. As for the inheritance of traditional Chinese arts. Zhou Xiaobai, why do you seem a bit disgusted? Don't give it to me, Lin Chen, disdainful to the point of not having any. After all, although Chinese martial arts may not be as powerful as some high martial arts, they also have their own uniqueness. At least when used to lay a foundation, the foundation is definitely the most top-notch, which can maximize the potential of the human body. Moreover, practicing Chinese martial arts to the highest depth can control every muscle and bone in the body. Before the autumn wind moves, cicadas have a premonition and avoid danger without seeing or hearing it. In the future, if someone wants to calculate on me, it will not be so easy. Tony Stark, can you be kind to me, this crooked nut? What does it mean to explain? Don't make it so complicated, okay? Wogan Glass, is it possible to be friendly to the great fallen angel? Zhou Xiaobai, simply put, after practicing to a certain extent, you can reach a very mysterious realm. Once someone has a bad intention towards you that will be detrimental to you, no matter how far away you are, you can immediately perceive it, and you can also sense where the danger comes from and avoid it in advance. Dongfang Bai, so magical. Tony Stark, so powerful. Doesn't that mean no one can harm themselves in the future? Can we avoid launching missiles from a distance? Su Fengnian, at Lin Chen's exclusive red envelope. Do you have a red envelope? Lin Chen instinctively clicked on it, and a thread-bound ancient book appeared in his hand, Green Water Pavilion Jia Zi Shi Jian Lu. Wogan Glass, What's the situation? I asked about the smell of PY trading. Alert JPG Zhou Xiaobai, wow, how can you send exclusive red envelopes? Red envelopes are meant to be snatched, do you know? Tapping the table Lin Chen, Green Water Pavilion Jia Zi Shi Jian Lu, can you send me this? Su Fengnian, I'm getting ready to start practicing martial arts recently. Since you and the group leader both say that laying a foundation in Chinese martial arts is the best, I wonder if it's possible to exchange it. Zhou Xiaobai, the Green Water Pavilion Jia Zi Shi Jian Lu uses obscure language and is not easy to learn. Dongfang Bai, do you know, group leader? Lin Chen, she knows nothing about it. This is a comment from the old sword god Li Chungang. Of course, he doesn't like it for the old sword god, but how many people in the snow can he like? Of course, it's not easy to get started. Su Fengnian, don't misunderstand, this is just for Taoist Lin. If Taoist Lin is willing to trade, I can bring you old Huang's 9 swords move, or wait for old sword god's move for a while. Zhou Xiaobai, is it so cost-effective? I envy, and hate JPG Tony Stark, I don't have martial arts skills, do you need steel armor? Or maybe if you come to me, how about I prepare a beautiful woman for you? Although we already have steel armor, it would be great if we could enhance our combat effectiveness. Being stronger is definitely not wrong. And listening to their advice can strengthen the body, so wouldn't Xiaoqili be blessed in the future? Tisk these people. Lin Chen shook his head and chuckled, then gestured a little, and everyone sent a red envelope over. There is nothing wrong with building good relationships with the members in the group, and the mere inheritance of traditional Chinese culture is not a big deal for Lin Chen. Moreover, according to the usual style of novels, it is uncertain what will happen in the group in the future, such as tasks. In this way, enhancing the strength of all members is also beneficial for him, and it is only a basic thing. In addition to the group leader and the black cat, the martial arts of Dongfang Bai and his world are also more magical. Overall, using the inheritance of traditional Chinese culture as a means of making connections, we can make steady gains without losing out. Dongfang Bai, this. Lin Daochang, this is. Zhou Xiaobai, do you still have my share? Surprise JPG Lin Chen, everyone will become friends in the future. A little thing is not worth mentioning, so let me give you a solid foundation and serve as a reference. Don't underestimate it. Su Fengnian, Lin Daochang is grand. Don't worry, I will send you Lao Huang's sword moves tomorrow when I receive them. The Crown Prince also disdains taking advantage of this advantage and prefers to befriend Lin Chen, a powerful figure with unlimited potential in the future. Anyway, there is no loss for him either. Wogan Glass, that. Thank you. Is it necessary to take action against the girls in the group in Chapter 5? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Tony Stark, Lin Daochang is grand, feel free to speak up if you need anything in the future. Lin Chen, there's really something I need your help with. Lin Chen, my world here is during the Republic of China period, and many times it's too inconvenient. So I would like you to help me, Tony, with some modern living facilities and daily necessities. Tony Stark, is that all? At first, Lin Chen said he was a bit worried about asking him for help, but when he heard about this, he immediately breathed a sigh of relief. Lin Chen, that's right, shouldn't it be a problem for you, the richest man? Tony Stark, it's all up to me. Anything that can be solved with money is not a problem. I promise to arrange everything for you clearly and will send it to you no later than tomorrow noon. Just spend some money, it's not a big deal for Tony. And it's just some daily necessities and basic living facilities, how much can it cost? Or rather, if he could use money to make friends with the group members, Tony Stark would only be happier. He can't see the potential of Lin Chen, who has a golden finger to hang, but it definitely won't be low. He has already made the decision, it's just a matter of spending more money, I promise to arrange it clearly. Wugen Glass, that. I can also help. Wugen Lioli is a bit lacking in confidence. Compared to Tony, a dog tycoon, she doesn't have much money. But if she didn't give anything after receiving the benefits, she felt guilty in her heart. Jichuan Shizuka, I can do it too. But it's only after the apocalypse that I remembered. It seems like after the apocalypse, there's no need to spend money on bags and designer clothes. It seems like it's also good to think about it. Jichuan Shizuka is a little excited to think that various famous brands can be picked up at will. Lin Chen, let's forget about Black Cat and Shizuka Teacher. With Tony, a big dog, it's very dangerous for Shizuka Teacher to go out after the end of the day. Black Cat is still a student, so let's keep that pocket money for ourselves. I really want to repay my words. Lin Chen, do you want other inheritances? If you can help, I can give you a share. Wugen Glass, Hantai, you're dreaming. Wugen Lioli's face turned red and she buried her little head under the bed. She knew how to obtain a new inheritance. Can she be easily helped with this kind of help? You can just say that you want me to make a commitment. Jichuan Shizuka, are you serious? Then I need to discuss with Li Xiang. Zhou Xiaobai, Tisk TSK, are we going to take action on the girls in the group now? With a slanted smile on JPG Lin Chen, actually, you can also be the group leader, Zhou Xiaobai, forget it, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. I urged JPG Lin Chen, really not considering it. Photo JPG Zhou Xiaobai, is this you? Dongfang Bai, Lin Daochang has a great demeanor. Although he wears ordinary clothes, his temperament is so outstanding, and his appearance is even more handsome. Dongfang Bai has never seen such a beautiful woman since his debut. Jichuan Shizuka, no need to discuss, Li Xiang will definitely agree. That's you, JPG Wugen Glass, is this Lin Daochang? Wugen Lioli inexplicably regretted it. Did she refuse too decisively just now? He should be given a chance. Zhou Xiaobai is even more conflicted. He already has the friendship of a fellow villager. As a traveler in the post-apocalyptic world, it goes without saying that encountering such a fellow villager's mood, coupled with Lin Chen's outstanding temperament and handsome appearance, unfortunately, with that kind of golden finger, I will definitely not be wholeheartedly focused in the future. Su Fengnian, to be honest, I have two sisters. If Taoist Lin is interested, he can help me make peace and also marry a maid. Su Fengnian spoke half jokingly and half seriously, saying that he couldn't confirm Lin Chen's character at the moment, but judging from his short-term interactions, he should be looking pretty good. If possible, he doesn't mind matching up. Of course, whether it can be achieved or not depends on themselves, especially the intentions of their two sisters. If they are unwilling, Su Fengnian will definitely not be too careful. A little Taoist from Wudong Mountain. Fuck him. Lin Chen, okay, it's already midnight. Don't torture me a bit when I was trying to improve my physique just now. I'm so tired now that I can't even open my eyes. Let's talk about it tomorrow. Lin Chen couldn't resist it anymore. Although his cultivation had improved, the torture he had just experienced also consumed a lot of his energy. Now his mind is starting to get confused. Anyway, I'm not in a hurry. It's the same to talk about something tomorrow. Zhou Xiaobai, okay, I should go to bed too. It's too dangerous to make a big noise at night. Tony Stark, okay, I'll arrange for someone to buy something for Taoist Lin and send it over early tomorrow. Wugan Glass, see you tomorrow, Mr. Lin, goodbye, JPG Dongfang Bai. Our main focus is to see how the inheritance of traditional Chinese arts works, and we won't talk about it anymore. Su Fengnian, see you tomorrow, Taoist Lin. Juchuan Shizuka, I'll go call Li Xiang. Everyone went offline one after another. After all, it was almost time to rest in the middle of the night. However, after Wugan Liuli went offline, she didn't take a break directly. Instead, she woke up and found her own small vault, starting to calculate. Although I can't buy too much, it's still possible to buy a better outfit, right? You can tell from the clothes on Lin Daochang's body that he has been wearing them for a long time. Tomorrow. After Lin Chen went offline, he fell asleep in his breathing. When Uncle Jiu sent the doctor back and found that Lin Chen was already asleep, he smiled slightly and took the blanket to cover him. Really, how old is he? He can't even take care of himself well, and he doesn't even know how to cover his blanket when sleeping. What if he catches a cold? Pa, a book fell from the bed. Green Water Pavilion Jia Zi Shi Jian Lu. Uncle Jiu picked it up and looked at it, feeling somewhat surprised. It seems that we need to prepare a dedicated room before placing books. Master, senior brother, is he free to come? When Kai approached cautiously and lightly, really don't you need the doctor to check it? Senior brother seemed to be in a lot of pain just now. No need, it's not a bad thing. Uncle Nine shook his head. Walk, don't disturb your senior brother's rest. Kill a chicken early next year to catch up with your senior brother. Okay, then I'll wake up early tomorrow and make a pot of chicken soup for senior brother. When Kai nodded and agreed. Senior brother usually treats him well, and this small matter should be taken care of. By the way, don't forget to go to town with Qiusheng tomorrow to buy some paper and pens, then find someone to customize a few bookshelves, and... Forget it, let's put them in my room. Just tidy up my room and put the wardrobe in the adjacent room. I originally intended to specialize in tidying up a room, but upon reflection, I feel a bit uneasy. What if someone else steals it from another room? Still put it in front of your own eyes and rest assured. And it's also convenient to browse by yourself. Ah. When Kai looked bitter. Ah, what? If you just face a bitter face while doing something small, you can't learn from your senior brother. Uncle Jiu hates iron for not becoming steel. This rebellious disciple really has no ambition. Qiusheng is okay, although a little mischievous, he still has some talent. When Kai himself is not very talented, and he often slacks off. What should he do after this continues? Got it, master. We'll go together tomorrow after Qiusheng comes over. Actually, it's not bad either. The bookshelf only needs to be run once, and you don't have to make it yourself. Just tidy up the room, please. Take these 50 ocean coins, don't lose them. You need high-quality rice paper and ink, go buy them early tomorrow morning. Nine Uncle took out the 50 ocean coins from his room, his heart twitching in pain. It's not easy to earn some money, so much. When Kai was stunned. When did Master become so generous? Sell as much as you can, let's talk about it later if it's not enough. The prices of high-quality rice paper and Huizhou ink are very expensive. $50 may seem like a lot, but in fact, I can't buy too much. I have taken the money. If I lose it, I will buy you and exchange it for money. Chapter 6. I'm doing this for the good of my junior brother. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Master, you don't need to be so anxious, do you? The next day, Lin Chen slept until after 10 o'clock before waking up. As soon as he left, his master pulled him to the front hall and placed a thick stack of rice paper in front of him. This pile of rice paper is thicker than my life, and my writing speed is also, take your time. Uncle Jiu smiled all over his face, take 10 or 8 books every day, it won't take much longer. Don't worry, I still have rice paper in my room. If I really use it up, I'll buy it again. No, master, you don't know. My writing speed is slow and my handwriting is ugly, isn't it a bit inappropriate? Lin Chen resisted with a face full of resistance. How about I dictate it to Qiu Sheng and Wen Kai? This way, I can familiarize them with it, and when they finish writing, I can check it again. Lin Chen kindly stepped forward and helped Uncle Jiu onto the chair, while his dog legs massaged his shoulders. In this way, Qiu Sheng and Wen Kai have also studied once, and it is good to have a little understanding. And I will check again after they finish writing, which is equivalent to learning twice. In this way, Uncle Jiu straightened his legs and leaned back on the chair, enjoying the filial piety of his eldest disciple, with a smile on his face. This is good, this is good. That's it, but your handwriting should also be practiced. Lin Chen's idea is very appealing to him, but he has a headache when he thinks of his calligraphy. This disciple is good at everything, but his talent in calligraphy is too poor, and even his talismans are not very good. Master, you also know that I really don't have that talent. Lin Chen also felt helpless. Calligraphy is indeed his weakness, and this is something he can't do. Forget it, tell me about what's going on in your group. What kind of people are there? Uncle Jiu shook his head. No one is perfect, and besides that, it's not a big flaw. It's quite interesting inside, but there aren't many people there yet. Plus, I only have 7 disciples in total, among them. Lin Chen did not conceal anything and explained the identities of the members in the group and the system of the world they were in, but there was not much detail. After all, he couldn't explain how he knew so much. Even so, Uncle Jiu is constantly amazed, but what interests him the most is the end world. Well, Juchuan Shizuka's world virus has not yet broken out, so Lin Chen didn't mention it either. The apocalypse, as the name suggests, is the end of the world. A virus appeared in that world, infecting more than 90% of the world's living beings, and more than 90% of humans and animals became unconscious walking dead. Walking corpses. Is it corpse poison? Uncle Jiu was shocked to hear that over 90% of people and animals in the world had turned into walking corpses. Thinking about it, his back was soaked with cold sweat. It's similar, but more contagious than zombies. They mutate quickly after being scratched, but they don't just suck blood, they just bite directly. Lin Chen thought about the similarities between zombies and zombies, at least the low-level ones are very similar. However, zombies appear alone, and the origin of zombies is a virus that spreads too quickly, infecting most creatures in a short period of time. The most powerful thing is that these zombies are suspected to continue to grow stronger and even awaken extraordinary abilities. This poison is too dangerous and vicious. Uncle Jiu frowned tightly. Is there no way to restrain it? Uncle Jiu is a bit worried. What if this virus appears in his own world? I am also worried about that world, and I can imagine what kind of days the remaining people are living. There's no way, at least I don't know. Lin Chen sighed. I have talked to the group leader, and she suspects that the virus was deliberately developed by others. It may have started with the development of some longevity drugs or drugs to enhance physical fitness, but unexpectedly something like this happened. Then there is a possibility of accidental leakage or other reasons, and the world will be ruined. Tisk. Uncle Jiu didn't know what to say. That world. There aren't many living people left. Lin Chen knew what Uncle Jiu meant, and all the living people are hiding and dare not go out. The main reason for the group is not that the members in the chat group helped him with some supplies. I'm afraid he's already starving now. Alas, just give me a hand if you can. If you need anything, let me know to my teacher. Uncle Jiu is helpless. Even if he wants to help, he can't actually help too much. After all, they are not in the same world, and there is no way to help. We can only let Lin Chen take care of it. Master, don't worry, I won't refuse if you can help me. Lin Chen nodded. And who knows what will happen to the chat group if the group leader has an accident. If we end up together, wouldn't we be foolish? By the way, Master, there is a big dog in the group who will send me something later. We may need to tidy up the charity village. Lin Chen suddenly remembered. I even asked Tony for something myself, and with Tony's big dog personality, I'm afraid there won't be a shortage of things. Furniture and the like are certain, so the Yizhuang may have to be cleaned up again. Uncle Jiu was somewhat surprised. What else do you need to tidy up the village to send? Uncle Jiu is not interested in why he gives things. He believes that Lin Chen has a sense of propriety, but he is very interested in what he gives. After all, it is something from another world. A foreign devil named Stonatak is the world's richest man in his world, with plenty of money. I gave him a share of the inheritance of my national skills, and he wants to thank me. So I asked him to help prepare some furniture and daily necessities. Furniture. There are all high-quality mahogany furniture in the villa, why do you suddenly need to change it? Uncle Jiu doesn't care about the inheritance of traditional Chinese arts, as long as it's not from Maoshan, it's Lin Chen's own thing. He can handle it whatever he wants. He's just a bit reluctant to change furniture properly. After all, the furniture in Yizhuang is personally selected by him, high-quality mahogany furniture. Foreigners' Western furniture. Lin Chen knew his master too well and immediately raised an eyebrow. A large sofa, a large soft bed, and air conditioning for cooling and heating in summer and winter, a large refrigerator for storing food and making ice, and a crystal-made chandelier. Cough cough. The furniture in Yizhuang really needs to be replaced, it's been used for over a decade. Reluctantly suppressing his smile, Uncle Jiu was delighted in his heart. Good things, as soon as he heard it, he knew they were all good things. Actually, it would be great to take the opportunity to repair the Yizhuang. Lin Chen thought for a moment. If we were to install an indoor restroom, the pipes would be a problem, and there would also be wiring arrangements. Why not take the opportunity to repair the Yizhuang and have a major overhaul? Uncle Jiu rolled his eyes. You said it's lightweight. Do you know how much it will cost to renovate the charity village? As a teacher, is it easy for me to save some money? In the future, you can get married and have children. Well, let me come up with a solution. You don't have to worry about money, Master. Chapter 7. Let's not wait for this world to break. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Senior brother, you finally got up. When Kai hurriedly ran in, I made chicken soup for you this morning and it's still in the pot. Senior brother, please wait a moment, I'll go help you heat it up. Forget about literary talent, let's wait for lunch together. Lin Chen is not too hungry now, so it's better to eat together at noon. Go and call Qiusheng over, let's move out the things in the room together. Didn't you always want a bigger bed? It just happened to satisfy you this time. Really? The literary talent, who was already a bit reluctant, suddenly became excited. Qiusheng also ran in. Big bed. Do you have my share? Yes, there are. When Kai and Qiusheng were full of enthusiasm, especially after hearing Lin Chen introduce some things halfway through, they directly invited Lin Chen aside without him having to do anything. Lin Chen stood on the side, watching the two of them attentively, lost in thought. It seems that the method used to be wrong, but now it seems that the two of them are not so lazy either. With nothing to do, Lin Chen decided to take a look at what the people in the chat group were talking about. Zhou Xiaobai, I tried to practice and found that Chinese martial arts don't seem to suit me well, it's too hard, is there any shortcut I can take? Dongfang Bai, no, it's actually the same. Cultivating internal power also requires effort, and not willing to put in hard work is impossible to achieve great success. Su Fengnian, is it difficult? I think it's okay, but I'm a bit tired. And I found that some of the Chinese martial arts are very suitable for spreading in the military. Let's wait for Taoist Lin to come and ask. Wugen glass, is it very difficult to cultivate? I haven't tried yet, and I still have to go to school today. Jichuan Shizuka, I forgot. Dongfang Bai, forget it, Shizuka, just be responsible for being cute. This kind of thing is not suitable for you. Tony Stark, I'm still researching and can't understand many things at all. I plan to upgrade Jarvis system and collect the ancient culture of Xia country to learn more. Speaking of which, how are you doing on your side, group leader? Zhou Xiaobai, what else can we do? With the weapon Tony gave me, I dare not wander around, so I found a bigger villa to live in and try not to go out if I have nothing to do. Tony Stark, don't worry, I'm already crafting the armor. Once it's ready, it'll be safe for you. Zhou Xiaobai, that's not necessarily true. When I transferred here, I saw a huge zombie over 10 meters high from a distance on the road, which almost scared me to death. Who knows what strange zombies there are? Dongfang Bai, more than 10 meters tall. This. Jichuan Shizuka, I suddenly feel that our world's dead bodies are also unacceptable. Wugen glass, are you okay, group leader? Zhou Xiaobai, it's okay, I avoided from a distance at that time. The other person didn't seem to notice me, otherwise I'm afraid I might have gotten cold now. Zhou Xiaobai, besides, Shizuka, you dare to gloat at. Be careful not to throw you at Lin Daochang. In the bedroom of a small villa in the wasteland, Zhou Xiaobai, dressed in pink sportswear and with a sweet appearance, was full of sadness. He was really unlucky to travel into this world. Fortunately, there is also a chat group. Although there are still very few members, at least there is no need to worry about survival supplies, and there is no need to risk going out to search for food. If big shots join the chat group in the future, they may be able to solve problems in their own world. But thinking about Lin Chen's golden finger, she felt aggrieved for giving so many good things from the beginning. Why? Everyone is a traveler, where am I missing? Why don't I have a beginner gift package? Lin Chen, how come it feels like I'm a bad person? Besides, you can actually get Tony some zombie virus samples and ask him to help study them, maybe it can be solved. Wugen glass, Brother Lin Chen is online. Hello, Brother Lin Chen. Tony Stark, hello, Taoist Lin. But let's forget about that. I've actually thought about it before, but now I don't know anything about viruses, and I'm afraid too. Tony had also thought about researching zombie viruses before to see if he could come up with an antidote or something, but even when faced with a virus that would destroy the world, he had little confidence. If there is any problem, the world you are in will be ruined. There are already many disasters and difficulties on our side. If you are not confident, it is better not to act recklessly. Safety comes first. Zhou Xiaobai, for safety reasons, let's wait. If there are big shots joining the group in the future, it shouldn't be difficult to solve it, right? I won't go out. Lin Chen, that's right, is there a time travel feature in the group? If there's really a problem, you can also run away, welcome me anytime. Zhou Xiaobai, there is a saying, but traveling once requires 1,000 points, and going back and forth requires 2,000 points. It takes a long time to praise just by checking in. Jichuan Shizuka, I've decided to save points and move, let's not wait for this world to break. Wugen glass, are you serious, Teacher Shizuka? Jichuan Shizuka, well, who knows, should I? But maybe I'll like it for a long time, and I'll have to bring along Lixiang Yazi and the others. Lin Chen, do you still have check.in? Why didn't you tell me yesterday? Dongfang Bai, I had such a lively conversation with Taoist Lin yesterday, I forgot. Tony Stark, I forgot both, but it's not too late now. Group member Lin Chen successfully signed in and earned 66 points. Lin Chen, does 66 o'clock count as much? What is the maximum check that I end time for this? Wugen Glass, it's pretty good, I've only been in my 30s these days. The highest record is 86 points. Lin Chen, that's okay, it seems like you're lucky. Tony Stark, at Lin Chen, I have everything ready. I know you're from the Republican era, but I have prepared a lot of modern items, such as mattresses, wardrobes, sofas, air conditioning, televisions, and refrigerators. Tony Stark, I'll give you other things when I think of them, or just let me know what you need. Tony Stark, there are still a lot of messy things, there are too many. I'll split them into a few red envelopes and send them to you. Tony Stark, as for energy, I have built a medium-sized reactor, and if it is used normally, it will be enough for you to use it for a long time. Lin Chen, undoubtedly the richest person, it's just grandeur. Lin Chen is very satisfied. Leaving aside everything else, a medium-sized reactor is not a simple thing. Tony's ability to bring it out can be said to be quite sincere. Originally, Lin Chen thought he would get himself a solar energy or something. After all, the reactor can be said to be Tony's treasure. For him, besides the chili peppers, this is the most important thing, right? After sending the red envelopes, each red envelope also has a note of information, and a rough classification of what things are inside each red envelope. Lin Chen didn't click to claim the red envelope immediately, there were too many things, so he had to find an empty space. After some thought, Lin Chen came to the courtyard to find his master. Master, they have already sent over the things I mentioned, but there are a lot of them. They also gave me something that can generate electricity on its own. What I mean is, you can get some talismans or something like that to thank them. This is simple. I just made some yesterday, you can take them all. It's just some talismans, which are not worth much money to Uncle Nine. The talismans used by ordinary people like Ping and Fu are very simple, not high-end goods. Okay, in your bedroom, right? I'll go find something useful for ordinary people. Although it has already been passed down to the traditional Chinese culture, at that time, the meeting gift was also given to other group members, and Tony was so thoughtful and prepared so thoroughly, which was also thoughtful. Besides, it's not just for free, it's suitable for him. After experiencing the effect, this dog tycoon will definitely exchange it with other things. Chapter 8. Is truly a dog tycoon. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Due to the arrangement of pipelines and lines, Uncle Jiu sought help from some workers in Renjia town in the following period of time. He also dug out a basement under the side house to place a medium-sized reactor. If this thing is damaged, it is still very dangerous. Considering the possible problems that may arise in the Yizhuang, we decided to create a basement specifically for placement. Although there are workers helping, there are not many people in the Republic of China who can handle the layout and connection of the lines. Besides, Lin Chen's requirements are also relatively high, at least not affecting the aesthetics. So in many places, it can only be done by Lin Chen himself, while others can only help to fight and help. So I've been busy with this for more than 10 days, and this is just finishing the main house of Yizhuang. I haven't had time to tidy up the side house yet. But it's okay, there's usually no need for side rooms, just take it slow. Chilshing Wenchai has learned a little bit by following suit during this period, and they can handle it a little bit later. Senior brother, where's the big bed you mentioned before? The refrigerator. And the air conditioning that can blow air. Wenkai was already a bit impatient. When renovating before, everyone lived in a side room. At that time, he wanted Lin Chen to take it out and use it first, but Lin Chen felt that it was better to wait until the renovation was completed. Everything will be new then, so it will have a more ceremonial feel. Seeing two junior brothers and even his own master looking at him with anticipation, Lin Chen also smiled happily. Okay, but there's a lot of things. I'll take them out bit by bit and categorize them. Of course, Jiu and the other two have nothing to say. It doesn't matter if they get tired from having something good. Fortunately, the chat group red envelope can be stored for a long time as long as it is not claimed, otherwise it would be really difficult to handle. Let's find a space and I'll take out the things. Xiaoqin, you. Uncle Jiu frowned and glanced at Jiusheng and Wenkai, gesturing to Lin Chen if he wanted to keep it a little hidden from them. Forget it, master. There's nothing to hide. Although they messed around a bit, they still have some sense of propriety. Lin Chen knew what Uncle Jiu meant, but he had to live together from now on, and keeping it a secret was not a solution. Besides, with their brains, they can't guess anything. The backyard was quickly filled with a pile of goods as Lin Chen's hands connected. Good guy, I know Tony is a dog tycoon, but Lin Chen really didn't expect him to have prepared so much, and many items were prepared in multiple portions. The master and apprentice worked tirelessly from morning until midnight to finally organize these things, mainly because it took some time to install the electrical appliances. But in the end, there were still many things that didn't have any place to put, so we had to temporarily pack the valuable things in the room, and the rest had to be put in a shed in the backyard for now. After tidying up, although it was already late at night and the master and disciple were tired and didn't want to move, looking at the new appearance of the Yizhuang, their faces were full of smiles. Is this still our Yizhuang? It's much more luxurious than any old master's house in the town, right? It's just that the place is a bit small. Jiusheng has already decided that in the future, unless it's necessary to go back and help his aunt, he will live in Yizhuang himself. It's indeed a bit small, but it's okay. When we have money in the future, we can build a bigger one next to us. Lin Chen was also very happy, slumped in his chair and thinking about the future. Master, let's make something for a late-night snack. We didn't even finish dinner, and now our stomachs are screaming. Jiusheng covered his rumbling stomach. I can't sleep even if I'm hungry, I'm also hungry, you and Wenkai should go prepare. Originally, Uncle Jiu didn't eat anything at night, but today is special, so I'm so busy that I really need to eat something now. Wenkai's face was bitter. Master, I have no strength left now. Forget it, just as I was packing up, I saw some quick food and snacks. Let's make do for it tonight, everyone is tired. It's natural for Uncle Jiu and his team to have nothing to say from modern times, but they are really tired. In the past decade or so, in order to use new things early, they have been busy from morning till night every day. I've been busy until midnight again today. No matter how delicious something is, I can't resist being tired after dealing with a few people casually. They couldn't wait to go back to their rooms and fall asleep. Sleeping until it was almost time for lunch the next day, especially Jiusheng and Wenkai, who had never experienced such a soft big bed before. The brand new duck-down quilt and soft big mattress even made them plan to sleep for another whole day. But unfortunately, my stomach couldn't bear it, and coupled with the fact that my master had already entered the door carrying a rattan, I had no choice but to wake up and prepare to cook. I've been busy repairing the charity village these days, and the work on the Taoist collection has been delayed. Coincidentally, the bookshelf was also completed yesterday. Uncle Jiu reminded while eating, Xiaoqin, let's start having dinner. I can do both. Later, I will be responsible for dictation, and let Jiusheng and Wenkai take turns copying. The inheritance of traditional Chinese arts is also recorded together, and in the future, Jiusheng and Wenkai can also learn to see if they have any talent in this area. Lin Chen nodded. Master, you can also take a look. Chinese martial arts may not have much effect on ghosts and monsters, but they are quite useful for dealing with people. In these days of chaotic warfare, having more skills is definitely not wrong. That's okay. Uncle Jiu didn't refuse either, he was also very interested in the inheritance of other worlds. It's good to just assist in cultivation, at least to strengthen the body. However, practicing Chinese martial arts is quite difficult. Lin Chen pondered for a moment, it seems that we need to make use of the small world. Master, when you have time, help me find some medicinal seeds. It will be much easier to use ginseng and other tonics to assist in cultivation. Lin Chen, the small world, has not yet been utilized and cannot be wasted. Okay, when I have time, I'll go take a stroll up the mountain and then go to the pharmacy to see if there's any available. Master, what are you talking about? Qiusheng listened to the conversation between master and senior brother, thinking about all the rice paper and ink he had bought with Wen Kai before, and suddenly had a bad feeling. It's not a big deal. You can go to my room next to me and pick up the rice paper you bought before. Your senior brother is responsible for dictating, and the two of you are responsible for taking turns recording what your senior brother says. Uncle Jiu chuckled, pay attention to everyone. After recording, your senior brother will check. If you dare to make a mistake, I will reward each of you with a whip as a teacher. The chicken legs in Wen Kai's hand have all fallen off, master, so many rice paper. Uncle Jiu interrupted directly, it's a bit short, but it's still possible to buy after you've used it up. Chapter 9. Master's Big Baby. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In the following period of time, Qiusheng and Wen Kai lived in dire straits. From the morning after the rebellion until noon, I practiced Chinese martial arts with Uncle Jiu. After lunch, one was responsible for copying Taoist scriptures with Lin Chen, the other was responsible for decorating the side room, and I also had to practice Maoshan art in the evening. Well, each person exchanges work for one day. This kind of day is actually quite good, calm and leisurely. But it didn't last too long either. Xiaoqin, are you sure you don't want to change clothes? This outfit always feels strange. Uncle Jiu looked at his eldest disciple and felt a bit uncomfortable. It's okay, isn't it quite energetic? And it's also comfortable to wear like this. Lin Chen didn't think anything was wrong. Speaking of which, this outfit was still given to him by the black cat, with a casual pair of jeans underneath and a loose white shirt above. This comfortable outfit also highlights Lin Chen's unique temperament. It's just a matter of looking good, but in this era, it seems a bit unconventional and a bit too advanced. It's indeed quite good looking, but... Uncle Jiu hesitated for a moment, forget it, just look good. Judging from your appearance, there should be a new inheritance soon. I just don't know if the money I saved is enough for you to marry a wife. With the appearance of my own disciple and that kind of supernatural ability, my daughter-in-law will definitely not be missing in the future. I really don't have enough money to look after myself. It seems that I need to do more work in the future, otherwise I won't be able to afford the dowry. Master. When Qiusheng looked at him eagerly, his eyes filled with anticipation. They have never tasted foreign tea before and also want to broaden their horizons. What are you shouting? Have you practiced Bagua Palm yet? Have you finished today's homework? Get out and practice. Uncle Jiu is not very angry. Are you taking these two stinky kids to embarrass yourself? You two should just stay at home. There's nothing good about foreign tea, it's actually just coffee. Haven't you both tried it before? Lin Chen patted the shoulders of both of them, and I don't have to taste the coffee in town to know what kind of virtue it is, it's incomparable to the coffee at home. So foreign tea is just coffee, Uncle Jiu suddenly realized and then put on a bitter face, that thing is like traditional Chinese medicine, what's so delicious about it? A few days ago, Lin Chen found several bags of high-end coffee from the supplies, and Uncle Jiu also tasted it along with him. He vomited on the spot. Are there any problems with crooked fruit kernels? Where is this bitter thing going? Especially after hearing Lin Chen say that the price of that pack of coffee could buy thousands of pounds of grain, Uncle Jiu was foolish. Why is this package of bitter food worth thousands of pounds of grain? There's no way, although I don't know the brand, just thinking about it, I know how Tony, a dog tycoon, could bring out things at such a low price. Lin Chen still said less about it. Coffee, forget it, let's just stay at home. Qiu Shengwen and Kai remembered the taste of coffee and their faces looked a bit unpleasant. If they had known that foreign tea was coffee, they wouldn't have asked to go with them. Isn't it good to stay at home? Master and senior brother are both away from home, shouldn't we be lazy now? Finally, you can take a good rest. Honestly, practicing at home, even if you dare to break your TV legs. Uncle Jiu glared at the two of them fiercely and warned them. That big TV is his treasure, he has to wipe it with the best cotton cloth several times every day. It's just a luxury for everyone except Lin Chen to touch it. If it weren't for the TV being too big in his room and not knowing how to handle it himself, he could only ask Lin Chen to help play the TV dramas stored inside. He would have wanted to move into his room and hide them. Don't worry, Master. I'm not afraid to do it, and even if senior brother is not here, we won't do it either. Qiusheng was also very helpless. He wanted to take advantage of his master's absence to play around, but he had to have the courage to do so. That's the master's treasure. My senior brother is not here, and I don't know how to do it myself. If it were to be damaged, even if the master didn't kill them, his legs would definitely not be able to be saved. Master, I'll go push the cart. Lin Chen chuckled and didn't say much. Uncle Jiu nodded. He actually wanted to take a car to the town to show off, but if he deliberately went, it wouldn't be good. Now there's finally a chance. And this opportunity is even better. I heard that the daughter of Mr. Ren's family has returned. If possible, is it possible for our eldest disciple to, if it were Qiusheng and Wen Kai, he would definitely not have such thoughts, and he still has this self-awareness. The virtues of just the two of them are not appreciated by ordinary women, let alone wealthy people like Ren Tingting. But Lin Chen is different. He looks good, and with the conditions of the current Zhuang, to be honest, Jiu Shu thinks that the Ren family is too proud. Sigh, with the supernatural power of my disciple, there will definitely be more women in the future, and I don't know if there will be any problems in the future. But forget it, children and grandchildren have their own blessings, and I, as a master, can't handle such things too much. Quickly, Lin Chen pushed a motorcycle with a sidecar back. It has to be said that Stark is really generous in this aspect. Originally, he wanted to give it to a sports car, but Lin Chen felt it was a bit too high profile, and that thing was really not practical. It's strange for sports cars to be able to drive on this dilapidated road during the Republic of China era. After comprehensive consideration, I chose these two three-wheeled motorcycles. Actually, when it comes to inheriting the art of going abroad, Lin Chen hesitated whether to give it to Tony or not. The group leader Zhou Xiaobai goes without saying that being a fellow villager is enough. Su Fengyan and Dong Fangbai are not a big deal, and Black Cat is not a problem either. After all, Lin Chen's psychology is a bit petty. Is it possible for Lin Chen to have no idea if his own system capabilities are like this? If you succeed, you are your own person. If you give it, then give it. Not to mention Zhu Chuan Shizuka's side, it's almost the end of the world. When the time comes, only Stark doesn't necessarily have any objections to him, but as a young angry youth, although Stark's crooked identity doesn't affect his ability to make friends, I always feel like passing on Chinese martial arts to a crooked fruit kernel who protects the twisted waist guest, and even this crooked fruit kernel may pass on Chinese martial arts to other crooked fruit kernels. That's awkward. National art, the art of protecting the country. Even stronger inheritance doesn't really matter, but how could Lin Chen not be uncomfortable with this idea being placed here? But forget it, everyone else gave it to Tony. It's not good not to give it to Tony alone, it's not conducive to unity. Besides, Tony is actually pretty good. Looking at it from another perspective, Lin Chen feels that if he were the world's richest man, he wouldn't be able to make the sacrifice Tony made. I already had some good feelings, coupled with my desire for the benefits of Marvel World, this awkwardness is nothing. And considering that his world is about to experience turmoil, although Lin Chen may not be able to participate too much, it is certain to provide some support to the best of his ability. Stark started as an arms dealer, and he may still need some help when the time comes. Chapter 10. No coin hard packaging, awkwardly cute feet. You are listening at novelfold.audio. Uncle Jiu, Aiken, are you? Aunt San, it's nothing. Mr. Ren invited us to drink foreign tea. In this era, motorcycles are a rare thing. Although Rinjia town is not small, it is just a town after all. How have you seen this thing in your daily life? After entering the town, he received countless curious and envious gazes along the way, and Uncle Jiu's face was almost tingling with laughter. Even when they arrived at the entrance of the CAFA, a group of people had already followed behind them, and as soon as the car stopped, they gathered around to see what was strange. Help keep an eye on it, don't let anyone touch it randomly. Uncle Jiu painfully took out a piece of ocean and handed it to the waiter at the coffee shop. He didn't want anyone to look at him and was worried that his motorcycle might be carried away by someone when he entered. Although it's unlikely, what if so many people touch it randomly and it gets damaged? Uncle Jiu, are you? Ren Fa was originally discussing business with others inside, but came out to check when he heard the noise at the door. Oh, it's nothing, we rode motorcycles over here, villagers just watching the excitement. Uncle Jiu waved his hand, saying it's not a big deal. Motorcycle. Ren Fa was a bit surprised, did Uncle Jiu get on the motorcycle? I don't even have this thing at home. He, the richest man in Rinjia town, still takes a carriage when he goes out. If you really want to buy it, it's not that you can't afford it, but for now, let's not say whether it's cost-effective, he doesn't have a way. Where did Uncle Jiu get this Maoshan Taoist from? Cough cough, Uncle Jiu, let's go in and talk about it. Okay, Mr. Ren, please come first. Is this Lin Chen, the disciple of Uncle Nine? It's been a long time since we last met. He's already so old. He's a talented person. After sitting down, Ren Fa looked at Lin Chen beside Uncle Jiu, his eyes somewhat surprised. It's been several years since he last saw Lin Chen. It's been so long since he last saw him, and he never expected to have such a temperament. It's hard to say in terms of appearance. Although dressed in a strange way, it appears more casual and cheerful, making people feel closer. It looks more like a young master from a genuine family who has seen the world before, rather than a small Taoist. Mr. Ren flattered me. Lin Chen nodded with a smile. He couldn't ignore the face they gave him, otherwise he would lose the face of his master. However, Lin Chen always felt that the way Lao Deng looked at him was a bit strange. He didn't know if it was his own illusion. Master Ren, I heard that your daughter has returned, why haven't you seen anyone? Uncle Jiu was very satisfied with Lin Chen's performance. As soon as this girl came back, she ran out and said she wanted to teach people makeup, but I don't know. Oh, my girl is here, Tingting, this way. Lin Chen turned around and saw a girl in a dress just entering the door. With a slight frown, he instinctively took a photo using the chat group's photo function and posted it to the chat group. It has to be said that Ren Tingting is indeed quite good looking, with a kind of foresight that ordinary people in this era do not have, but she also has a charm of the times compared to women in later generations. Dad, okay, come on, this is Uncle Jiu, the famous Maoshan true transmission in the town. This is Uncle Jiu's disciple Lin Chen. Say hello to Uncle Jiu quickly. Uncle Jiu, Ren Tingting obediently offered a discount greeting. Okay, I didn't expect it to be so big in the blink of an eye. Uncle Jiu nodded repeatedly. Hello Miss Ren. Lin Chen stood up and helped Ren Tingting open her seat. Thank you. Ren Tingting's eyes lit up, her peach blossom eyes fixed on the man in front of her, careful not to be dirty and bouncing non-stop. Ren Fa frowned thoughtfully and glanced at his daughter and Lin Chen who had just sat down again, then at Uncle Jiu. He didn't know what he was thinking. At this point, the waiter brought over the menu. Uncle Jiu, what do you want to drink? Ren Fa regained his senses and smiled, handing the menu to Uncle Jiu. This. Uncle Jiu was confused as soon as he opened the menu and turned to look at his own disciple. He couldn't understand this thing himself. Lin Chen felt a sense of joy in his heart. How about 2 cups of black tea? My master can't handle the bitterness of coffee. Right, black tea is good. Uncle Jiu really didn't want to touch the coffee thing. After hearing Lin Chen's words, he nodded repeatedly, saying that black tea is better. Indeed, I can't stand it either, but when it comes to business, come along and have a drink. Since that's the case, why don't you give me a cup of black tea? Ren Fa nodded, not particularly fond of coffee. But there's no way, doing business is all about saving face. Nowadays, this is popular, and he can only gradually get used to it. Can you give me a cup of coffee? Actually, it's good to get used to it. Why man is very popular now. Ren Tingting ordered a cup of coffee. She had already gotten used to it when she was studying in the provincial capital. Forget it, I really can't get used to drinking. Xiaochen made a few cans before, but I didn't take a sip. Habit. Uncle Jiu feels like he can't get used to it in his lifetime. Besides, I don't have any problems with myself. Why get used to that thing? Bitter. As Lin Chen, who was raised by Uncle Jiu from a young age, knows that it's time to take the call on his own. Master, that bitter thing can be exchanged for thousands of pounds of grain in just 1 can. The cup you poured out can be exchanged for grain, which will be enough for us to eat in our village for several months. No matter how expensive it is, what's the use of it if it's not tasty? Not to mention it, it's okay. Being said like this really made Uncle Jiu feel a little heartbroken. If I had known I had been drinking Chinese medicine at that time, I would have felt heartbroken if I had dumped such expensive things myself. And at that time, there was more than just 1 cup. Qiu Sheng and Wen Kai also poured it out, only Lin Chen drank it as if nothing had happened. Now think about it, even if you can't drink it yourself, you can let Qiu Shengwen and the 2 of them drink it. Pouring it out is really a waste. What brand of coffee is so expensive? Ren Tingting was a little incredulous for a moment. It was a gift from a friend, not a big brand, but it was specially cultivated, so the price is relatively high, and it cannot be bought outside. What can Lin Chen say? Is there any brand in this world? To be honest, Lin Chen was already awkwardly picking his feet in this situation where there was nothing more than pretending, but there's no way, who makes the master like it? Uncle Jiu is someone who loves face. If he doesn't show off something good, he will definitely feel uncomfortable. This child just likes to mess around. You said my brothel is just a place to park corpses, why is it so luxurious? But he insists on renovating it. I've heard about this too. It's said that I've been busy for a long time and also made a lot of Western furniture, right? Mr. Ren unexpectedly cooperated. Yes, and I also brought. Uncle Jiu was really aroused and happily introduced Ren Fa to the changes in the Yizhuang and some novel things. Lin Chen frowned a bit puzzled. Although his master did have some personality traits, he shouldn't be like that, right? Is it necessary to say so much to Ren Fa? Lin Chen, do you still have that coffee? Can you? Did the master have this idea?